Authentication and authorization are the backbone of any modern web framework. Without them, our apps can't distinguish between users or protect sensitive data. They are essential for building secure applications. But why it is necessary to master these concepts? Because whether you are building a small app or a very complex system, getting auth wrong can lead to serious issues. So, learning how to design and implement authentication and authorization system is not just a skill, it's a responsibility of us developers. So, in this feature-packed course, we are going to cover everything from password hashing to session management, from securing APIs with JWT to role-based access control. Everything is covered, be it secure ways of generating token, be it secure ways of storing token, be it secure ways of versioning the token, be it a way to prevent your app from being misused by bots. Here you will find solution to all the problems related to authentication and authorization. So by the end of this course, you will have the skill to design and implement rock solid authentication system, and you will finally understand the difference between who you are versus what you can do. Now let me give you a very brief walkthrough of what we are going to cover throughout this course. So of course this is going to be authentication and authorization. Okay, so we are going to learn different fundamental concepts of doing authentication, and then we will go for authorization. Okay, so we'll start with authentication. What will be our first step when we are doing authentication? It will be user registration, right? So we all know what is the process of user registration, right? You take the user information, add it to your database. But how you are going to add it to the database? What are the security best practices that we are going to learn here, right? And then, is this all that we are going to do in user registration? Of course not, right? Because I said this is going to be a feature-packed course, right? So what feature we are going to add? We are going to add CAPTCHA validation. Okay, so how we can generate CAPTCHA? How we are going to leverage the power of Express session to store and validate CAPTCHA information, right? So that bots and automated system cannot misuse our system, right? So this is why CAPTCHA validation is important, and many places you have seen that, be it Google reCAPTCHA and the CAPTCHA images that are added when we are trying to submit a form, right? So we are going to see how we do CAPTCHA validation. Is that all? No. We are going to see how to do CSRF validation, cross-site request forgery, a very common security issue that arises, but it's very easy to handle, and we are going to see how we are going to generate token that validates against a cross-site request forgery attack, right? So these are the basic flow of user registration. Then what comes the next part? Of course it will be user login, right? So in this video we are not going to discuss one, but we are going to discuss two different methods of doing user login, right? One is the very famous one, that is JWT token, right? We have seen in my previous video I have used JWT token to do the user validation, right? But in this video we are going to take it up a notch. We are going to learn about refresh token. What is refresh token? What is the difference between JWT token and refresh token? Which one should be valid for longer duration versus which one should be a short-lived token, right? These are the fundamental concepts that we are going to learn, right? Is that all? No. Now coming to refresh token, there are two concepts. One is token recycling, where it is used, why it is used, how it is implemented. That is all that we are going to see in this video, right? Then token versioning, why we need to version refresh token, what advantage does this give us, what kind of security challenges we will face if we do not do token versioning. These are all the fundamental concepts that we are going to learn in this video. Now, is this all? No. Multi-factor authentication, fundamental concept of doing user login. Many websites you must have seen that they will, especially banking websites, they will ask for a multi-factor authentication. That means What is multi-factor authentication? You use your username and password, then OTP will be generated, one-time password, right? And that also you have to fill. Then only you will be able to do a valid login, right? So we are going to see multi-factor authentication, but question is how? Are we going to send SMS? No. Are we going to send email? No. There is another way of doing multi-factor authentication that we will see in this video, right? Now, is that all? No. There is another way of doing user login, that is session based login. Now, how session based login is different from token based login? Of course, we'll see in the video, right? Then when you are doing session based login, there is a fundamental concept of session stickiness. Okay, where this is used? Suppose your server restarts, right? So what will happen? Your session information will be erased. So a user that has logged in will not be able to log back or send a valid request because your server restarted, your session information is lost, right? Another example, load balancer, right? So what happens? There are multiple app servers. Suppose your session is created in one app server, then the token will go to the user, then the user will use this token to send a request, but this time load balancer sent it to a different app server. Now here the session information will not be available, right? So in that case, user will be told that you are not a valid user or you are not logged in, right? So these are the two scenarios in which session stickiness is important. We have to stick the session across server restart and across multiple app servers, right? So this is what we are going to learn. Okay, this is not going to be a very basic authentication and authorization course where we are going to generate a token and do a validation and call it a day. No, this is going to be a feature packed course. Then is this all? No. After this, we will jump to authorization, right? And what we are going to learn in authorization? Of course, we will have users, right? Then we are going to build a permission framework, which operation can be performed by a particular user, right? And they will be mapped to groups. So a user can belong to a group or it can belong to multiple groups. Each group will be associated with one or multiple permissions, and based on the groups and roles, we are going to decide whether a logged in user can perform a specific operation or not, right? So groups, I've given just an example, like there can be an admin group, there can be an author group, right? There can be a moderator group. Then permission, each permission will be mapped to a CRUD operation. When a user comes in and wants to perform a CRUD operation, we will see what group it belongs to. Does that group have the permission? And then we will allow to access the resource. Otherwise, we will not allow. So these are the fundamental building blocks of authorization, and that is what we are going to learn, right? Great. I really hope you are excited about this course. But what tech stack we are going to use? Of course, Node.js, Express, and MongoDB. And this is going to be in JavaScript, not in TypeScript. Okay, please be aware of that. Now, I know a lot of you asked for the source code, and I'll give you the source code, but the source code will not be available immediately. Okay, so this course is going to be 7 to 8 videos long. Okay, after that, after the last video of this course is released here on YouTube, after that 5 to 6 days after that, I'll give you the source code link through a community post, and also I'll come back to all the previous video, update the description and give the link to the source code. So it depends at what time you are watching this video. If you are watching this video fresh, you might have to wait for a few days, and if you are watching this video after few months of this video has been released, feel free to check the description box. You will find the link to the source code. Now this is all for the intro video. I just wanted to share what are the major fundamental things that we are going to learn. I really hope that you are excited about this course. Do like this video, subscribe to the channel if you are excited about this course, because this is the kind of content that I keep bringing on this channel, and I'll see you in the first video of this course.